Good morning to all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All know Malayalam in the audience? Okay. I'm basically a veterinarian. I was practicing as a veterinarian for the last 10-15 years. Changed my career to research in the last 10 years. And now I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Genetics at Veterinary University. I recently came back after my postdoc from UK in the aftermath of flood. വെള്ളപ്പൊക്കം നാശം വിതച്ച ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ് തിരിച്ചു വന്നത്. എൻ്റെ സ്വദേശം, എൻ്റെ നാട് ചേളന്നൂർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കോഴിക്കോട് ജില്ലയിലെ ഒരു ഗ്രാമമാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ താമസിക്കുന്നത് ടൗണിലാണെങ്കിലും എൻ്റെ നാട് ചേളന്നൂരാണ്. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരും എല്ലാവരും അവിടെ തന്നെയാണുള്ളത്. വെള്ളപ്പൊക്കം കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ നാട്ടിൽ പോയി. അപ്പം എൻ്റെ ടീച്ചറിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോയി, എന്നെ പഠിപ്പിച്ച ടീച്ചറിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോയി. ടീച്ചർ വിഭവസമൃദ്ധമായ ഭക്ഷണങ്ങളൊക്കെ തന്നു. എന്നിട്ട് ചോദിച്ചു, മോനെ എന്താ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്? വൈ ദിസ് ഫ്ലഡ് ഹാപ്പൻഡ്? ഷീ ആസ്ക്ഡ് മീ, മൈ ടീച്ചർ. I had no answer. Then she asked me, what do you research? What is your research? I told her I am researching on climate change. Why climate change happens? She was very eager to know that. Then why climate change happens? And I told her it is due to greenhouse gases. The main culprits are cattle, cows or ordinary cows. They emit methane, a greenhouse gas. And she was very much anxious because we have a lot of cows. In our village itself, we have a lot of cows. Then she asked me whether our cows are responsible for these sort of flood disasters. I had no answer. Unfortunately, in India, we don't have any answer to any questions of my teachers, of our teachers, of our parents, of our children, of public, of anybody. Instead, our answer to every question is another question. It is not science. It is not the way the scientists changed the world. You know how Isaac Newton changed the world? He asked a question by himself. Why an apple comes down? And he told the answer for that question, spending the whole lifetime, answer for a single question. We now know the answer, why an apple comes down. Now the question is, are you ready to take up that challenge? Yes or no? ആ വെല്ലുവിളി ഏറ്റെടുക്കാൻ നിങ്ങൾ തയ്യാറുണ്ട്? ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനെങ്കിലും, ഒരു ചോദ്യത്തിനെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങളുടെ ജീവിതകാലത്ത് മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞ് ഈ ആഡംബര സുഖലോലുപതയിൽ ജീവിച്ച് മരിച്ചു പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പേ ഈ ലോകത്തോട് ഒരു ചോദ്യത്തിനെങ്കിലും ഉത്തരം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഈ മണ്ണിലോട് ചേരാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആഗ്രഹമുണ്ടോ? എൻ്റെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടികളോടാണ് എൻ്റെ ചോദ്യം. യെസ് ഓർ നോ? ആ ചോദ്യം, ആ ഉത്തരം ഒന്ന് ആവേശത്തോടു കൂടി ആവട്ടെ. Are you able to take up the challenge? And my presentation is for you, those who answered yes. And for those who didn't answer, I am really sorry for them, because you are really spoiling your life. Okay, now let us see the scale and scope of higher education. If you want to answer a question in science, whether it is economics, whether it is physics, whether it is biology, the platform is higher education. You have to go for PhD, you have to go for postdoc, and then you become a scientist. Then the world will hear you. Your answer would be accepted by the world. Otherwise, nobody is going to accept your answer. You may have several answers for several questions, but if it has to be accepted by the world, you should have the qualification to answer that question. The best way is the higher education. Now, from a student's perspective, I am talking, not in an academician's perspective. My whole talk is for you only. So at least for Indian women, this is the Hindu article just day before yesterday. At least for Indian women, better education is not leading to. It is the only situation in India, not in other parts of the world. It never leads to better job opportunities. You are not getting any job. And especially for women, the marriage prospects are less. And you are not getting any freedom for your movement. That is the only pathetic situation in India. And what is the answer? The answer is think a little bit higher at the global level. In all other parts of the world, students like you are thinking. They are studying. They are doing research. They are finding answers for the question. And they are exposing the truth to the world without any sort of intimidation. They are quite brave in nature. And in higher education, if you are interested, we have 3 avenues. One is teaching, the other one is research, and the other one is extension. In teaching, you teach your young ones, what is science and how to do research like that. In research, you actually take up a question and find out the answer for the questions. You will get a beautiful answer for some of the questions. And in extension, you answer the questions of your parents, your colleagues, your friends, and your children, your students. Now, in the higher education sector, the world universities and higher education institutes are classified according to their merit. The World Academic Ranking of World Universities or Times Higher Education classify these higher education institutes in the world. Now, what we learned from this presentation, what is the benefit for you? After completing this presentation about the scale and scope of higher education institutions, is of considerable policy interest as it motivates the structure of the sector, how large universities should be, and what mix of outputs they should produce. That is for policy makers. You are going to change the policy of the government or the policy of the policy makers. And you ask them, I want to answer this question and I want to learn this subject and I want to learn this course, so that they will provide you the opportunities for studying that subject. All levels of education in India, irrespective of the nature, are controlled or regulated by Ministry of Human Resource Development. And in Kerala, it is the Higher Education Council that is controlling the higher education. And let us think about in a global way. In a global way. We have already discussed, when I was here, the professors were discussing about the research scenario in India. And I will take you to a higher level at the global level. Now, there are 2 strategies adopted worldwide. You may be thinking how you would be getting an opportunity or how you can utilize an opportunity outside India. Either in the UK, Australia, or in any other European countries or in the US, how can you exploit the opportunities available for higher education? So there are 2 approaches practiced by the global organizations. One is internationalization at home. They are making the doors open to the students of all over the world, including the Indian students. Now, internationalization abroad or transnational education, they are opening their branches in the developing countries. How many of you are aware of the branches of foreign universities in India? Any of you aware of those things? You can learn and get an Australian degree or UK degree by studying in India itself. Are you aware of those things? You are not. Indian students are not aware of those things. I will show you what is the situation in India or what is the plight of Indian students. But our neighbors, including Pakistan, Bangladesh and China, they are exploiting these opportunities. And thousands, 10,000, lakhs of students are getting foreign degrees, doctorate postdoctoral opportunities, and they are exploring the whole world of science. In the UK, especially, I will take an example. So, Quality Assurance Agency is there. So, they are assigning standards to every UK institution. So, UK universities have three mechanisms. One is distance learning, and the other one is international branch campuses, and the other one is partnerships. These are the three opportunities. For every UK university, you will have three opportunities in India. You can explore these opportunities in India itself. Many of the partnerships are multidimensional in nature. You may be working in biology, but your question may be something related to physics. But you can answer those questions when you contact a biology professor. They will direct you to the professor in physics. This is an example. Staffordshire University validated degrees at Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation. So a lot of students, and most of them are not Indians, including Malaysia, Pakistan, and China. They are studying in this university and getting UK degree. In the Indian scenario, this is a successful example because there are thousands of students studying in APU. APU was established in Sri Lanka in 1999 and in India in 2002. Their campuses was established in India in 2002. APU achieved university status in 2012, very recently. Now this is the condition, global scenario of higher education. Now in Asia there are 28% students studying in global universities sponsored by UK. European Union 23% and all other countries are less than that. Unfortunately, this is the situation. Now out of the whole students you see, there are 5,98,000 students there were in 12-13 and in 14-15 there were 6,65,000 students. And you are one among the bad luck students who never got the opportunity to be one among them. And see, I could find only the last position in one of the strategies. I mean, India is on the 10th position out of the 10 host countries with most TNE students registered in 2014-15, according to the number of students enrolled. India is in the last position. And above that, there is Malaysia, there is Singapore, there is Hong Kong, there is China, Oman, Egypt, Sri Lanka, Greece, even United Arab Emirates, and India is in the last position. Now in the distance education also, there is no name of India itself. India is not coming in that list. Overseas partner organizations who have, the foreign universities have partners in respective countries. In India, there is no such partner organizations of foreign universities. And this is the representation of UK higher education institutions and programs by host country. In India, there are only 9 programs. Here you can see, and 82 programs and 9 higher education institutes in India, somewhat in the middle. And these are the subjects studied by the students in foreign universities. And never think that they are studying science. Most of them are studying business management or arts and humanities, social studies like that. In India, we have a misconception that science is only related to medicine, science is only related to biology, like that. It's not like that. You can learn, you can practice, you can be in higher education in any of those fields. Number of countries, only one country, that is China, is sharing 66.8% of the global share of higher education. So I will keep these slides here. This is not so important. It is just to show you how is the situation in India or where we stand now. Now we told about the scaling, how in a global situation, higher education sector is being scaled into millions. Now this is the scope of the higher education sector in a global way. So people study, the students study different subjects. You see the maximum students enroll for, the 42% enroll for business and management, not science, not biology, not physics, not chemistry. After plus 2, you opt for physics, chemistry and biology or science. And you feel that it is the science, only physics, chemistry and biology. No. People all over the world, students like you, they learn business management, they learn social studies and law, and they outperform than you. And this is a TNE programs by study subject. Again, 36% of the transnational educational programs are in business and management, not in science area, not in medicine. It never means that medicine or veterinary or agriculture sciences are lagging behind. No. At the global level, students are leading in business studies, art science and humanities. By the study subject also, this is the situation. And see, here in 1994 and 95, you can see the change. This was science in 1994 and 95. But now it has changed to somewhere here, I think it is arts and humanities. Millions of students are studying higher education in arts and humanities. India has not changed yet. You can hardly find a scientist in arts and humanities, but you can find a lot of scientists in biology, physics or chemistry. Again, this is the same situation for different subjects. And see here, comparison of programs, TNE programs and students at level of study. In most of the cases, see this is the red one is the postgraduate taught programs and the red one is postgraduate taught program and it is very higher for science and even for social studies and law. Okay. And this blue is undergraduate degree. And see, students are exploring even undergraduate level for higher education. The funny thing is that for us, we usually think that undergraduate education is a part of school curriculum. No. You are getting an opportunity, you are building your platform using your undergraduate degree, either a BBS, either BVSc, BSc Agriculture, whatever it may be. So you are building your research career with your undergraduate degree. My advice to my dear students is that you please try to get a world opportunity, a global opportunity, even at your undergraduate level. Okay. Now this is the last conference I attended. It was 2 days back, Pan Commonwealth Veterinary Congress. It was in Bangalore. Scientists from 40 countries, they were participating in that conference. And we were discussing the recent scenario in Kerala about our flood situation. And a few European professors, and professor from, this is Professor Graham Martin from Australia, our collaborator, and that person is from Fiji, and he is from US. And they were telling us, we can give some opportunities to our students in Kerala to explore the possibilities of finding out the reason for flood situation in Kerala. And there were students with us. We usually take students to these conferences, and we had a meeting with these people. I introduced my students to these professors. And Professor Graham Martin, he asked to my student, did you follow my presentation? He asked my students, did you follow my presentation? The answer, a straightforward answer was no. She could not follow his presentation, and that was the end. Because he actually wanted to take some of the students to Australia for studying some PG or PhD. He has a lot of opportunities there under his project. But unfortunately, our students were not ready to occupy such positions. Because we feel that getting 100% mark is the ultimate thing in education. It's not like that. If you are not able to understand something, if you are not able to answer some questions, it is your fault. It is actually your, even if you are getting 100% mark, most of the students, they are highly brilliant students. They got 100% or more than that marks in their exams, but unfortunately they miserably failed to occupy a higher education position in some of the world level institute. Now, Gray Martin told me that we will have some plans for your students, and you have to prepare your students for making them appropriate for education in a foreign country. So this is the flow chart he prepared for our students. And now we drew these things together, and he just wrote now. And the target he assigned was 2050. Even I wrote 2030, he corrected to 2050. And he told me it is appropriate. So if any of you are interested to take up higher education opportunities in any of the world countries, you are welcome. People all over the world, professors all over the world, scientists all over the world are keen on taking up Indian students to their labs, their universities. And the world law has changed too much to accommodate Indian students. And the way forward to you is think interdisciplinary. If you are a medical graduate, veterinary graduate, agriculture student, go to the field, meet some people, and they will ask you some questions. In the last Nipah outbreak, I was in the UK, and those students were asking me, UK students were asking me, why sir, there was an outbreak of Nipah outbreak in Kerala. It was in the limelight during that period. And they could find, and we discussed, and they could find some of the reasons for that. And when I came back to India, and when I discussed with my students, they were even never thinking of those situation, Nipah situation. And never thought of that. Why Nipah outbreak was there in Kerala? Any medical graduate students? Medical students? Please raise your hands. Any medical students? Had you conducted any seminar in your medical college in order to discuss, at least discuss, not doing some research about the Nipah outbreak in Kerala? There are two reasons for an outbreak. One is increasing the virulence of an organism. Second thing is reducing the immunity. There are only two reasons, and you have to find out why virulence of the organism is increasing and why immunity of the host or our immunity is coming down. That is the answer for that question. And express yourself, my dear students. Express yourself. If you have some feelings, if you have some doubts, ask it. That is the only way to explore the higher education opportunities available to you. Have a passion. Don't study medicine just because of the fact that your job is secure. It is secure anyway. But have a passion to find out something, to find some answers for your questions. And never drop it in your medical college. Once you complete your study, once you complete your MBBS, once you complete your BBSc or agriculture, BTech, whatever it may be, never drop your question there. Take it with you. And that will lead you to the area, to the higher platform of higher education in your later future. Thank you, my dear friends.